Thermomixing Adventures. My name is Lisa Keegan and we are filling the grazing box this series. And I'm so excited to show you all the different things you can do in your Thermomix really easily and quickly to fill it for something fancy, whether it be a gift or whether it be taking it to somebody's house or maybe a picnic. So today I'm going to show you something that's actually super simple and yet we often buy. And we buy out of convenience and probably because we think it's actually hard to make. And I'm going to show you today how with 4 ingredients, how easy it actually is. So this is our puff pastry. I like the ice puff pastry. It is no fail for me and it works every time. So if you're not sure which one, because there's lots to choose from, I would highly suggest to do this one. I know it's got pies on it, but it's really easy. So we're going to go start cooking and you'll see the first thing it asks for is some ice cubes. So it's 90 grams of ice cubes. So I've got kind of ice shards at the moment. It's the end of like an ice packet. Is that too heavy? Nope, excellent. In that goes. I don't have enough. Too bad. We'll just roll with that. Might put a tiny bit of water in instead. It does mean that at the step where I need to let it sit, that I'll have to let it sit a little bit longer because it will need to solidify a bit longer. But that's okay. We can roll with that. That'll do. Not going to make it too runny. Okay, next up. 180 grams of unsalted butter. Now I've got cultured butter from my cheese course. So if you've not seen that I do a cheese course and I teach you how to make amazing cheeses, check the link, okay? It is amazing. You will learn cultured butter. You will learn so many tips and tricks to your thermomixing. It's just amazing. So check that out. So I have my cultured butter here, which then left me with cultured buttermilk, which is awesome as well. So in this goes to the Thermomix. Just need to make it small enough to cut up. If you've not made butter in your Thermomix, it's time you learned. It's amazing as well. Especially great as well if you manage to buy, you know, sometimes you go through the deli section, deli? Frozen, cold section. Dairy was the word I was after, dairy section. And they've got reduced down cream because they don't know what they're going to do with a whole lot of pure cream. That's the time to buy it. I'm just cutting it in chunks that can fit down the blade shaft. I wonder if I'm a bit short on this as well. Let's have a look. 170. That'll do. 176. Okay, next, do make sure it is cold though. It's a really important step. If it's warm, you're going to end up with this really hard product to work with. Not impossible, but not easy either. So chopping, time to chop this down. Let's do that again. All the way to speed 10 and it's got 15. Hear that it's nearly done there. You don't even need the whole 15 seconds. Either that or it's all frozen to the outside and it's not getting chopped. And no, I look in here and it's done. So there's times when you do not need the full time. There is one cube, you can see one ice cube in there. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. It'll disappear in this next step. So there are times when you don't need to. It's going to look like a buttery frozen sorbet in there at the moment. Okay, scrape down the sides. Doesn't matter. Okay, 200 grams of plain flour. Now I am using glutinous plain flour. I have done it with gluten-free. It is way harder to work with, but it is possible. So if you are GF and you miss puff pastry, give it a go. My biggest advice for you though is go lighter on the flour. It's easier to add more flour at the later stage than it is to wish that it was the other way around. So just a little note on that there. Okay, I don't know why my camera's gone fuzzy down the front there. Come back, come on. Anyway, all right, 1.5 teaspoons of salt. This gives it flavor, don't skimp. And we're finishing off with a blitz. So that is actually as easy as the ingredients parts get. How cool is that? Now let's do this. So 5 seconds, speed 5, it's gonna come together. This lid does not agree with my Thermomix. Let's go again. 5 seconds, speed 5. It's coming together. I can hear an ice cube. I could hear an ice cube, that one ice cube going around, so I just spun it up a bit faster. I'm going to go again back up to speed. I just wanted to grab that ice cube into it, which you can hear it's done now. Scrape down the sides, insert the measuring cup, and it's going to knead, but let me just show you what it looks like before we knead. I will scrape down the sides because otherwise you sacrifice all that stuff up the sides. And we don't want that to be lost, so we're just going to quickly scrape down the sides, grab our TM6 spatula, which by the way, if you've got a TM31 or a TM5 and you've got the old style spatula, check these ones out in the mix shop. Okay, they're well worth jumping on the mix shop and getting yourself the spatula. And the kitchen toolkit while you're at it, okay? So just scrape that down so it all gets incorporated and now it's going to knead for 2 minutes. So we just spin that up let it knead. You'll see my table wiggle and jiggle. That's because I am on a bar style table. So that's why it wiggles and jiggles. Don't stress about it, but do stay in your kitchen. It's the only time we say do not leave your kitchen with your Thermomix going. You can leave it when it's doing soup. You can leave it when it's making risotto. You can leave it when it's making curries, but don't walk away when it is kneading, because it can get feet and walk off the table. You can see as this dough ball is coming together, you can see it's getting more movement to it, like an upright washing machine with the washing in it going round and round and round. There's one big ball and it's starting to move. So we don't walk away when it's doing its kneading function. I'd love to know in the chat, have you tried puff pastry in your Thermomix? And if so, what did it turn out like? Did you enjoy it? I would love to know. I don't know which is moving here, the Thermomix or the camera or both. My camera has been known to take flight during these times. Now, I'm going to stop that early, only because, again, I can hear it's done. And this is the beauty of Thermomix cooking. The more you do it, the more confident you get. And I really, really hope that through these videos, your confidence about what you can achieve with your Thermomix is lifted. That you feel like you can do so much more and it becomes so much more value to you in your kitchen. All right, look at that. Now it's come together in a ball. That's what we were aiming for. And now it says to wrap pastry in plastic wrap and place in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. Why? Okay, now I'm going to tell you why. Because the butter needs to set. At the moment, you've got that butter in there and it's kind of gotten a bit warm. As much as there's ice cubes in there, I'm trying to make it drop out. Remember I've shown you on the other ones to turn the dial? You'll notice it's a bit heavier, this dough. It's a bit thicker and stickier because the butter's softened now. It's gotten gooey. We want it to get back solid so we can put some layers of puff into our puff pastry. So that's what we're doing next, is it's going to go in the fridge for 30 minutes. If you're in a hurry, 15 in a freezer works really well. My other tip for this step is to actually push this into a ball, but into a flat ball. A flat ball will actually cool faster than a big clumpy ball. Put some flour on it so that it doesn't stick. I have made mine stick. I can see already it's stuck. But a little tip, when you've got your Thermomat, just flip it over and then you can tip it back the other way and pull the other side off. And if you don't have a Thermomat, let's organize an online demo. Okay, 30 minutes, you and 2 friends watching on, get yourself a discounted mat set. Okay, super easy. Thermomix owner or not, doesn't really matter. Okay, I love cooking for you. I love showing you what it can do and showing your friend that there's an easier way in their kitchen, because there so is. So just pushing this together into a ball. I've been avoiding touching it, could you tell? I really don't love playing with food too much. So a little bit special like that. But here we go. That's it. I'm going to now fold it up. I'm going to put it in the fridge half an hour. Then I'm going to come back and I will show you the next step onto how to make beautiful layers in your puff pastry. And we're going to turn these into little wands. So we're going to turn them into little spirals that are going to have prosciutto wrapped around them, ready to go in the grazing box behind me. So I would love to see you make this. Please give it a go. Let me know any questions you've got along the way, and I'd love to support you get a Thermomix on the bench or those around you who need the ease a Thermomix brings. So please do reach out if I can help you in any way with your Thermomix journey. But I will see you again shortly for step 2 on this recipe. Bye for now. Welcome back. It's been half an hour. It's been sitting in the fridge and it's ready to go. But before we do, I wanted to just tell you about what is in puff pastry normally. So if you bought puff pastry from the supermarket, it has a range of fine print writing that they don't really want you to read. And it's got in it wheat flour, water, margarine, which is made up of veggie oil, water, salt, emulsifier 471322, and from soy, antioxidant 307B, and natural color 160A, maybe, salt, food, acid 330. So the beauty of making things with our Thermomix, and part of the reason why I got a Thermomix 8.5, 9 years ago, was actually to remove those numbers, those questionable things from my family's food, because at the time I had 2 little people. So I love the fact that with some basic ingredients we can make something pretty impressive. And once you know how, once you've done it once, you'll be right to just do it ongoing. Like you won't buy it ever again. So here we go. It's, as I said, it's actually ready to go. Now the recipe said just use it as is. What I like to do is actually put the layers in it. So you could roll it out right now and use it as it is. However, I'm going to roll it out a little bit. I'm going to give it a fold, and this is how you make really flaky puff pastry, is actually the layers in it. See how it's, because it's relaxed now, it's had that rest time, the butter's gone nice and solid again. It's really quite pliable. Let me spin this around. And it's not too sticky either. So to get the layers, we fold it over and we fold it over. We just put a little bit more flour under it. I love the Thermomix. It stops my bench getting all sticky. And then we roll it out. And we'll do this another 2 times. Each time it's going to get more layers within it. If it gets too sticky, it means it's going to go back in the fridge. It means the butter's melted, and that really depends on your weather, where you are at the time. So just keep, probably should have gone this way first. Keep rolling it out, getting those layers into it. You can see it's toughening up a little bit each time as well. That is the gluten starting to respond to our working. And you know what? I would normally do one more, but considering I'm making wands with this and it's not really going on top of anything, I'm actually just going to roll it right out here. So I'll show you how to make beautiful wands that you can do what you like with. I'm going to roll wrap prosciutto around them, but they could be dipping sticks. They could be with soup. There's so many things you can do with this. So all we're doing here is we're rolling it out nice and thin, depending on how thick you want it as a final product. I like to get it down to about 4 mils thick, about that. So I'm just going in one length. So I'm going to cut mine across the dough in a moment. You can use a similar technique to what you saw me use with the pastry, not pastry, what do we make? Crackers on videos previously, where you go across and that gives you a nice square end. You can certainly do that here and see how it gives you a square end. I'm not going to worry too much though. So now what we do is grab a spatula and make sure it's a spatula. You do not want to cut on your awesome Thermomix. And we're just going to slice across, and we want them about 1 centimeter slices. So 1 centimeter. If it gets tacky, put it back in the fridge. Make sure you're using floured spatula, and over we go. And we're just making strips. It's as simple as that. Now, to get them, you can leave them like this. You could sprinkle sesame seeds and salt and leave them like this if you'd like. However, I am going to be a little bit fancy and give them some twists. So I'll just cut a couple of nice ones here for you. And I'm going to salt them up because we're just having them with salt. But as I said, it could be sesame seeds, it could be herbs, it could be tikka masala powder, whatever you've got, whatever you like. All right, that's the beauty of making it yourself, is you can actually just turn it into whatever you want from it. You could keep the leftovers of this and make tarts with it. So one of the first things when you're a new owner of a Thermomix with me that we actually make is tarts. We make our own pastry, we make our own beautiful custard insides. Okay, so to finish this off, we're just going to take a length, and I've got my mat here for my oven. I'm running out of space though. Just might put this on top of my dough. So that's going to go on my oven tray in a moment. All I want to do is I want to give this some twists. So I hold down one end, I give it some twists, and then I kind of push it down on my mat, and that's what will hold those twists in place. So a couple of little twists and push it down on the mat to hold it in place. Now, if you want these to be more crispy, butter it or put some olive oil spray on it. It will make it really golden and absolutely beautiful. But don't try and go too many twists. They get a bit out of control, but there you go. There is how you make your own puff pastry and turn them into little wands to then do whatever you like. So whether it's dip it in the dip, the beautiful carrot top dips, or the beetroot dip, or whether it's to wrap prosciutto around, it's totally up to you. That's the beauty of it. Or keep some aside and make desserts with it. Up to you. How cool is that? So I hope you'll go do this. And when you do, I want to hear from you. I want you to message me and go, Lisa, I made it, I loved it. Or, hey, I've got challenges. And if you're halfway through and you've got challenges, go to my website and send me a message, tmxingadventures.com.au, and jump on there, message me and say, Lisa, help. This is where I'm at with my puff pastry and this is what it's doing. Because that's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you lift up your Thermomix and get more and more confident in your Thermomixing. so that it can really remove the numbers, remove the preservatives, give you more time, give you more money, all those sorts of things. So, and make amazing things to fill a grazing box as well, which is what we're on about in this series at the moment. So I hope you've enjoyed. Do let me know how you go, and of course reach out. If I can support you get a Thermomix on the bench, a TM6, I'd love to. I'd love to help you with the demonstration to get yourself the Thermomat on the bench. So please don't ever be a stranger. Reach out and do tell your friends and families as you're feeding them your amazing food. Let them know the secret of your ease in your kitchen, because without you sharing that news, they won't know that you've got a Thermomix that helps you so much. But otherwise, guys, take care, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. My name is Lisa Keegan, and thanks for watching today. Bye for now.